Hi Calvary Chapel, and welcome to your update video for today, Thursday 23rd of April 2020. It's another lovely day here in Freiburg, beautiful sunshine, 23 degrees. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine as a sign of God's grace and favour. It is no small thing. I do mention it every now and again, and I hope you forgive me for that, but it is really His favour on us that this time where everything has been, just put upside down in so many of our lives has been accompanied by such great weather that that has been less of a burden for us to carry in many ways. I hope that you've experienced that too. A couple of things for the update for today. I just want to start by reading a couple of verses from Paul's first letter to Timothy in chapter 1. We read there in verses 4 through 6 that we as Christians are not to devote ourselves to myths and endless genealogies. Such things promote controversial speculations rather than advancing God's work, which is by faith. The goal of this command, so why we shouldn't do this, is love, which comes from a pure heart and a good conscience and a sincere faith. And I think this verse can and should and does speak to us as a church in this time of Corona. We need to be thinking at this time about our focus, about our goal, and about our direction as a church. And we do not, and Paul is saying here, don't be distracted by, don't be led astray by things that are pointless, things that are mere speculation, are not grounded in reality, and that are drawing you away from what is reality, namely Christ, that is advancing God's work, which is by faith. So let that just be an encouragement and to you. Let us be placing our focus on worshiping in Jesus, on making disciples, and on spreading the gospel in this time, and not getting distracted by pointless or controversial speculation, which does not advance God's work. Just a note on that, it seems like so long ago now. It was only the 16th of February, but that was a month before we entered into this current phase of shelter in place. But Alex Röhm preached a message on a Sunday morning on the 16th of February. It's entitled Jerusalem and the End Times. If you look for it in our podcast or on your podcast app or on the website, and I encourage you, if you're interested, you can go back and listen to it. Basically, he helped us understand things like pestilence, plague, war, earthquake. How do we relate to these things? How do we order them into God's plan for history, God's time? And just to give you a short summary there, these are things, plagues, pestilence, like viruses or epidemics, wars, earthquakes, all of these are things which characterize in general, over and over again, the time between Jesus' first coming and his return. So they're not necessarily directly signs of the end times, but rather they're things that mark what the New Testament refers to as the last days, that is the period between Jesus' resurrection and ascension and his return at the end of the age. Again, you're warmly invited to go back and listen to that online. It's called Jerusalem and the End Times, 16th of February. So I just want to remind us today of what our mission and vision is as a church, where we should be placing our focus. I mentioned it a couple of seconds ago. Let me say it again. Our mission as a church is to worship Jesus, to make disciples, and to spread the gospel. And we do that primarily by planting churches, by supporting the work of the gospel to reach all nations. And so obviously this time brings challenges for us in that mission. At the moment, there are no services. For example, we can't meet together and celebrate together. We can't meet together as home groups. So many things are challenged in this time, and yet we want to stay focused on the mission that we have as a church. Just a couple of things that are challenging us in this time. At the moment, because there are no services, we haven't been able to take up a collection, an offering. And many of you already give online, normally by bank transfer. That's great, and that's fantastic to see that you've been faithful there. But just as an example, we have sent out gospel workers, exactly what I mentioned a couple of seconds ago. Our mission is to spread the gospel through planting churches. We've sent out gospel workers, and many of them have increased needs in this time. Just by way of example, we had to bring one of our families back who do gospel work, spreading the gospel and planting churches in another part of the world. They came back on an intercontinental flight, and so that just costs resources, so they have special needs at this time. And at the moment, even though the need is greater for gospel ministry, what we're seeing is that giving is down. So can I just, without putting any pressure on you guys, just encourage you to seek the Lord there and pray, and as he leads you to support the gospel ministry here. And finally, we just want to be thinking about the time after Corona. We want to be using this time best in order to prepare for the time that will come. Let's not go back to normal and nothing has changed. Let's be seeking the Lord now to be growing in holiness, to be growing in love, to be growing in focus for Him and for the mission. And I encourage you to be praying about that. And again, pray particularly for small groups now, because the chances are good that small groups can go back to meeting at the end of May, and we look forward to that fellowship again. And finally, just before I go now, catch our devotionals on the website. I just read the Philippians devotional today by Solvay. It was fantastic, it was encouraging, it was challenging. So if you haven't seen them, go to our website, go to Journal. We're going through the book of Philippians in devotionals written by people from the church and by leaders. Get a hold of that. I'll see you again for another update soon.